She wanted her money to help women who had been hurt, not to pay for her care as she lay unconscious year after year in some home for human vegetables. The mouth, that was better. Sure. The barrel was oily against her tongue, and she could feel the small nub of the sight digging into the roof of her mouth. I've had a good life, pretty good, anyway, and although I made a terrible mistake at the end of it, maybe that won't be held against me if there's something after this. Ah, but the night wind was very sweet. So were the fragile fragrances it carried through the half-open driver's side window. It was a shame to leave, but what choice? It was time to go. Tess closed her eyes, tightened her finger on the trigger, and that was when Tom spoke up. It was strange that he could do that, because Tom was in her expedition, and the expedition was at the other brother's house, almost a mile down the road from here. Also, the voice she heard was nothing like the one she usually manufactured for Tom. Nor did it sound like her own. It was a cold voice. And she had a gun in her mouth. She couldn't talk at all. She was never a very good detective, was she? She took it out. Who? Doreen? In spite of everything, she was shocked. Who else, Tessa Jean? And why would she be a good one? She came from the old you. Didn't she? Tess supposed that was true. Doreen believes Big Driver didn't rape and kill those other women. Isn't that what you wrote? Me? Tess said. I'm sure. I was just tired, that's all. And shocked, I suppose. Also guilty. Yes. Also guilty. Do guilty people make good deductions, do you think? No. Perhaps they didn't. What are you trying to tell me? That you only solved part of the mystery. Before you could solve all of it, you, not some cliché-ridden old lady detective, something admittedly unfortunate happened. Unfortunate? Is that what you call it? From a great distance, Tess heard herself laugh. Somewhere the wind was making a loose gutter click against an eave. It sounded like the 7-Up sign at the deserted store. Before you shoot yourself, the new, strange Tom said, he was sounding more female all the time, why don't you think for yourself? But not here. Where, then? Tom didn't answer this question, and didn't have to. What he said was, "And take that fucking confession with you." Tess got out of the truck and went back inside Lester Stroke's house. She stood in the dead man's kitchen, thinking. She did it aloud, in Tom's voice, which sounded more like her own all the time. Doreen seemed to have taken a hike. "Al's house key will be on the ring with his ignition key," Tom said, "but there's the dog." "You don't want to forget the dog." "No, that would be bad." Tess went to Lester's refrigerator. After a little rummaging, she found a package of hamburger at the back of the bottom shelf. She used an issue of Uncle Henry's to double wrap it, then went back into the living room. She plucked the confession from Stroke's lap, doing it gingerly, very aware that the part of him that had hurt her, the part that had gotten 3 people killed tonight, lay just beneath the pages.